Welcome back to upper number B. If you haven't seen plan number A, make sure you click the video right here to get all information you need. Before we start, I want to introduce you to our Bulk Like Hulk 8-week muscle gain series. If you want to have more information, just click the link below and make sure you get your spot.
IFBB Pro Mike Sommerfeld wird dir präsentiert von Climax. Deinem Profi für Fitness Essentials.
Climax.
All right, we already talked about how we train, what's necessary, how to do the reps. Now we're going to talk a little bit about recovery, because it's not about the workout, it's not about the work we put in, it's also the recovery which needs to take place to get better, because that's the main point, right? So here's a checklist for you. First of all, make sure workout frequency is not too high. So what I would not recommend you to do is upper A, upper B, upper A, upper B. You know, like give your muscles a little bit rest. Even if it's just one day, that's fine. As long as you don't come up with volume or intensity that much, you will recover pretty sure in about 1 or 2 days. It really depends on you and your recovery. That's why we need to talk about recovery. When I'm talking about recovery, I'm talking about sleep, I'm talking about food, I'm talking about food sources, digestion, stress levels, how many steps you do per day. All these things come into play when we're talking about the upper-lower split. Because you might train as hell, you might train like Hercules, but you won't get stronger, you get weaker and you feel weaker. It's not what you're looking for. So checklist is workout A, lower, upper A, lower B, upper B, whatever. It's your preference. I always go for upper A, lower A, upper B, lower B. And I'm writing down all my weights I'm using. I'm writing down the sets, the reps I'm doing, the weights, the rest pause in between, how many hours I slept, how I felt mentally, how I felt physically, how my sleep was from 1 to 10, my digestion from 1 to 10. I try to cover every point around the workout to make sure I have all information ready. And this is exactly what I recommend you. And this is also what we do in our coaching. We have a specific checklist for every check-in to make sure your sleep is on point, your recovery is on point, your food is on point, your supplements are on point. Everything needs to be 100% on point. If not, upper, lower might not be your perfect protocol. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you miss sleeping, if you miss food, if you miss any recovery, you will end up getting weaker and you will not enjoy upper-lower splits. Okay. Let's go right into the workout. We already talked about upper A. Now it's time to talk about upper B, because we're going to change some exercises. We're going to start with chest. As I said, that's my new priority point. That's why we're going to go through 2 exercises and more volume. I chose the cable flies instead of the pec deck fly. It's basically the same movement, just a little bit different. And also here I'm doing 2, maybe 3 warm-up sets just to get into it. I'm doing a little bit stretching here and there. I'm using the bands around my head, like warming up myself properly. And then we're gonna go through 2, maybe 3 working sets. And when I say working set, it's gonna be all out to failure set. So there's no single repetition left. I told you that we need to get stronger, but we are no strongmen, we are no powerlifters, we are bodybuilders. We're trying to build muscle tissue. We're not shooting for getting stronger. I mean, that's a nice side effect, but I need to make sure we gain as much muscle as possible. And as you get weaker, that's maybe not the correct direction. So we need to make sure we adding a little bit more weight or some more reps to every workout. If we are not possible to do this, we don't recover enough. Maybe you need an additional hour of sleep. Maybe your sleep quality is not that good. We're talking about sleep hygiene, like a really dark bedroom, no TV, no cell phones. Just make sure you get like 100% high quality sleep in. If not, I will promise you, you will end up getting weaker. I promise you. I've been through it already. So please take my advice and sleep as much as possible. On top, we need to have the correct food. Food sources, high quality food. We need to have a really set routine for different meals, carbs, fats, protein. But if you want to know more about that, we're going to go through all these information in our 8-week bulk like Hulk protocol. So make sure you click the link down below and you will get all plans designed to your needs. Next exercise will be a flat bench press. Sometimes I'm choosing machines, but for dumbbells, I feel I get the best stretch and the best contraction on top. Also here, I might do one single warm-up, get into muscle-mind connection, whatever set, and I hit 3 all-out to failure sets. And every rep needs to be 100% perfect. If we're losing form, and we might swing some weights and like push them faster and whatever, of course you might add up some reps, like 2, maybe 3, 4 additional reps, but you will lose information. Of course, on paper it looks cool if you added like, oh, 4 more reps, that's a big progression, but the form was not the same. So basically you cheated on yourself, and this will lead to like misinformation. Misinformation lead to very bad decisions, and very bad decisions lead to very bad results. So be honest to yourself. If you get weaker, no problem, just adjust all the things around, sleep, food, blah, 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 blah. 3 all-out sets, full stretch, and sometimes I hold it for like 1 or 2 seconds in a really deep position, and I push the weight all the way up until my chest feels like cramping. This is the contraction I'm looking for cable flies, for incline press, for flat press, for every muscle. I'm trying to get this crampy contraction. If I get like almost a cramp, I know, okay, contraction is almost 100%. Next exercise is for back. Gonna go to deep T-bar rows most often. Sometimes I'm choosing different machines, but first exercise is for lower lat fibers, and T-bar is for like more traps. So I'm using the upper grip, not the lower. And the most important part by T-bar rows is you stretch out your shoulder blades around the pad. Just like open your back up, and as you pull your shoulder blades back together. Because that's what a trap is doing, pulling shoulder blades together. So I try to do, for every exercise, the full range of motion. Deep stretch, and T-bar rows are amazing to get a deep stretch. You can hang yourself out like your hands fall like ripping apart. And from there, all the way up, and lift your chest just slightly. Don't go all the way up, just bend over, stretch your shoulder blades out, and then bang, pull up and go down. That's how I do the T-bar rows. And I got the best results doing T-bar rows in a fully stretched position, full range of motion. Of course, we maybe need to adjust the weight and do lighter reps, but as long as we get the stimulus, that's all we're looking for. All right, next one deserves a lot more attention, and this is shoulders. I do side laterals, I do rear delts, and I do front delts. So 3 different exercises for shoulders. Here's the reason why. Shoulders recover so much faster than like a quad or a hamstring. So you could probably train a shoulder muscle every day, or at least every other day for sure. I do 3 sets of side laterals. In upper number A, I chose the cables. Upper number B could be dumbbells, could be a machine, something else. I try to avoid doing the same exercises again and again. Here's the reason why. I give my body a little bit recovery in between A and B because I'm writing down my weights. I'm writing down the sets, the reps, everything what's necessary. And then I can compare quite like after a week. I have upper A, legs A, upper B, lower B. So this is like 4 full days. Then I might have a rest day or a rest day in between. So we have like already 6 days. And then we can compare upper A, upper A. Okay, did my weight go up? Yes or no? How was my sleep? Better or worse? Digestion, better or worse? What about my calories? Calories the same? Okay, what is my body weight doing? Okay. So these information are necessary to see if you're progressing or developing. If you see the numbers going down and down and down and worse, you need to change something. I don't know what it is, but as long as you're writing down your information, you will know very, very soon. All right, so machine or dumbbells for side laterals. I do shoulder press, machines, or sometimes front laterals. I choose the chest press, the shoulder press, mostly machines. I just said I try to avoid to do the same exercises again and again. For shoulder press, we don't have much variety, but sometimes I'm doing in a press like a Smith machine press, just straight up. Sometimes I'm using machines, which is like laying back. It's quite the same movement, but it's still a little bit different. I feel especially hammer strength shoulder press hits way more front delts than mid delts. Smith machine press, I feel it more in my sides, 30, maybe 40% in my front delts. Rear delts, pretty simple. You could use cables, you can use dumbbells, you can use machines, so many different machines. You can also use like a T-bar row, but like really pulling to your face pulls, row pulls, so many different exercises. What I do is I superset it quite a bit. So I'm choosing the dumbbells and then I will add some rowing. So basically it's just the rear delt fly, and as I fail, I do some more rowing on top of it. This will exhaust my rear delts extremely hard. So 3 sets side laterals, 2 sets shoulder press, 2 sets for rear delts. Last but not least, we have biceps and triceps. Triceps need a little bit more attention. I want to have a little bit more tricep size, especially from the front. That's why I do 2 exercises for 2 sets each, and the last tricep exercise are going to be supersetted with a bicep exercise. So the first one could be a dip, like a dip press. Secondly, single arm cable extension, one of my most favorite exercises for triceps. And for bicep could be dumbbells or preacher curls or spider curls or whatever, behind the body curls. I switch these very often. Bicep is not even close to one of my priorities. I've never trained biceps really intense, to be honest, and it still grows. So my bicep don't need that much attention. Mostly I do dumbbells, but personally I like doing machines a little bit more. The contraction is a little bit better, but to keep it simple, you can just get the dumbbells to your single arm extension, finish in single arm extension, go over, bang, 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 bicep right, bicep left, that's it for upper number B. All right, as we're talking about volume, this is really important. There's a minimum of sets you need to do to hold your muscle tissue. And this could be like between 4 and 8 sets per week per muscle. As you want to gain body weight or gain muscle, you need to make sure you're increasing the volume just slightly. Not too much. If you increase it too much, your recovery is not able to recover you. So I found out if I do more than 4 sets per muscle group, I'm not able to recover. So I went back to 2 sets, I felt quite okay. Then I went up to 3 sets, and I felt like, okay, like this is really sharp, but I'm able to recover as long as my sleep is good enough and my food is high enough. As I came down with calories, especially for diet or getting into shape or whatever, you might adjust it again. As I said, also food means recovery. Food delivers nutrition. Nutrition, especially proteins, carbs, fat, so energy sources. If you get less energy sources, you have less power, obviously. So make sure you're eating enough, you're sleeping enough, and you should check out the 8-week Buckler Kalk protocol. Enough for today. Don't miss lower. It's going to be interesting. And if you guys want to have more information, you can also write a comment. You can text me on WhatsApp. You can text me on Instagram. All the contact information down below in the description. Thank you guys for listening and see you soon.
They been on their ass, bitch, I'm on the rail. I wrap it, I bag it, I pack it for sale. Got feeling on speed out, I hit me to chill. I give it a thrill, I put it on film. Niggas facade, get applaud, that ain't real. Come to my section and flex, we can tell. I got a show where she dipping them nails. I'm flipping my L's, I know they can tell. I did it too major, they hit me for favors. Been him since the cable was cut in the cradle. What's up, only